My guest today has had an illustrious career. He's reported for a number of magazines before setting up his own platform. Today, ladies and gentlemen, Encomium magazine is one of the nation's top soft sells. Join me as I welcome Mr. Kunle Bakare. We call him KB. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome, boss.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. People say that you're a man who doesn't want to be celebrated. You just like to stay anonymous. You don't like all the noise. Why so, sir?
A journalist must be behind the camera, behind the scene. You know, the moment a journalist is celebrated and you enter the fray, it's very difficult to do your job. You know, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that a celebrity journalist is supposed to be celebrated, so to speak, be in the thick of things.
Yeah.
But that removes a lot from what you're supposed to be doing.
Anyway, despite all your attempts to stay anonymous, I must tell you that you're highly celebrated. We know you, at least those of us who know you, we know you. All right. So celebrity journalism in Nigeria, is it a good or bad thing? Because, you know, people say that sometimes we overhype and over-celebrate people who don't deserve being celebrated. So,
No, there are three categories, so to speak.
Yeah.
There are soft journals, there are glosses that celebrates popular people, and there's celebrity journalism.
Yes.
You know, the soft journals are magazines like Encomium, Yes Magazine. You know, they cover the softer sides of life. You know, interview celebrities, human interest stories, and the rest of it. The glosses are the ones that cover events like Ovation. Then the celebrity journal itself are magazines like Elo, like Encomium Special. You know, so that it depends on the way.
Okay.
You look
Okay,
at it.
fine. With the emergence of bloggers and social media, what is the future of Soft Cell magazine?
What's the future of journalism? That's what you should talk about. It's not only.
So I'm asking you.
What's the future? Is very difficult to predict. One, people must read about events around them. They must seek news, entertain themselves. But on what platform will they read those things? Will they view those things? That has changed. You know, everybody carries a phone about. You know, that's where they read news now and watch all the videos they want to watch. So that has disrupted the traditional way, of reporting events and covering events. So in that sense, it has. What's the future? The future is difficult. You know why it's difficult to predict the future? I always tell people, in the last few years, war reporters are dwindling because it's difficult to pay people that report wars. If journals don't sell, who will report the news? You know, one of the major problems we have is that once a traditional media publishes something, everybody copies it and
copy and paste.
And it's all over the place.
And meanwhile, that traditional media pays a lot to have these things covered.
So if you see traditional media, they are reducing staff strength. So eventually, the quality of reporting is going to reduce.
Because nobody goes to the field anymore.
No, who will pay for going to the
that
field?
That is why some news outlets have reporters. Eyewitness, they now
it's not the same. It's not the same.
Eyewitness.
You have to be trained.
If something is happening in, say, Kaduna now, instead of a media house sending a reporter to go probably do a professional job, you rely on eyewitness accounts of people who are there.
Who will send you rumors?
The disadvantage is, if something is happening in Sambisa, for example, there may be no eyewitness.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, we will take a break. And we'll see what has been troubling Dan the humorous recently. We'll be back. Just don't even go away because this conversation is getting exciting. It's still the other news. Yeah, you're welcome back. It's still the other news, and I'm having a fascinating conversation with the CEO of Encomium, Kunle Bakare. Sir, yes, you've covered the entertainment industry extensively over the years. You've seen the industry metamorphose. What is your take? Is the industry growing in the right direction?
It's growing. but probably not in the right direction. But it will grow in the right direction in the nearest future. You know, things always work out. Now, the artists are making a lot of money, but there is no structure. The structure will come in no time. I mean, it's the way things work out.
So for now, the industry is all money and no structure.
Yeah, but the structure will come.
Okay. I think in some ways I want to agree with you. Now, also seeing this industry, blossom and having played key roles, even in organizing awards and, being the watchdog of the industry. Recently, there has been an upsurge in companies, using celebrities as brand ambassadors. Do you think some of these brand ambassadors, seeing their lifestyle, do you think they are a true representation of what some of these brands stand for?
The brands are only after selling their products. So they're looking for popular people to sell their products, so to speak. They are not particular about the value of the people of
the individual, or the quality of the individual.
They're not.
As long as you can sell products.
Yeah. For example, a lot of things will happen to a brand ambassador, and the brand will ignore it. Your brand ambassador.
But that is not the practice abroad, though, because sometimes we watch in the news. You see, like when Tiger Woods was caught driving under the influence. Some of the brands that endorsed him pulled away from him.
Not some, almost all of them.
That's
what happens all over the world. We are in Africa.
Yeah, but you're saying in Africa. You're saying in Africa people don't care. As long as you sell stuff, if you mess yourself up, the brands don't.
A lot of bad things happen here, so it percolates to everything.
So we shouldn't actually be blaming government alone. We are all part of this.
No, all of us. I always tell people, if you change the leaders and put all of us there, Nigeria will be worse off. We are the same species. We are the same.
Wow.
We're the same.
Wow, that is a vote of no confidence on all of us. I want to remove myself from that.
No, that's why we're all here. That's why we're all here. You can't be somewhere where you're not supposed to be. We are in Nigeria so that we can suffer.
Okay, so having said that, let me also put the blame a little bit on journalism.
Of course.
Yes, journalists. Do you think they have really contributed their quota in being the watchdog of society? Seeing how poor the reportage of things happening in the country has become. People say journalists have become more of brown envelope seekers and press release carriers.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is there any truth in that?
To a large extent, it is.
Wow.
It's a reflection of what's happening in the country. For example, let's take a media house that has not paid salary for 7 months. How do you expect your staffers to survive if they don't collect brown envelopes? There's a Yoruba proverb that if somebody is in a precarious and difficult situation, he's most likely to commit a crime. So
it's common sense.
That
is why, when people say they are fighting corruption and people are hungry, that means it won't work.
It's difficult.
We're in trouble.
Big trouble.
So what's the way out, really? So what is the way out if we all agree that we are in trouble as a journalist?
The way out is for people that are really concerned about Nigeria to put themselves forward and change Nigeria. There are a lot of people that can do things, but they don't want to. They say politics is dirty, and they don't want to get involved. See the change they promised. Is that what we have?
Actually, it's change. But the thing is the change from good to better or better to worse?
Majority of the people in APC are from PDP. Yeah. They just change names. They're the same. Yeah, they're the same. It's difficult.
So there's little or no change. There's change in name. Not change in ideology or any philosophy.
At all. And they fight for their interest. If you see people fighting, they're sharing money somewhere.
Yes. And once they are quiet,
the money is going round.
It's going round. Oh, we're in trouble. So, looking at this country, like the way, we have all gone now, we are looking for messiahs. The country is in need of people who can stand up and help. Are you one of those people who are willing to say, look, let's get this thing done?
I've always been, but we're in the minority. A lot of people don't want change, I always set an example. In my office, if somebody steals, all of them will connive to protect the person that has stolen. That's what happens everywhere. It's difficult to stand the rights by yourself. Everybody is conniving to, if somebody does a bad thing, everybody rallies around to ensure that the person is protected. We can't move forward. It's very, very difficult.
So it's...
But it can be done. See, what I tell people is, things will get bad, but we don't know how bad it will get, but it will get better.
Oh. You know, it's a scary thought to think that things will permit me to say better than this. Because worse is to say things will get worse. I think it's already worse.
No, at the height of
there's a word like better, you know, it's scary.
At the height of Jonathan's despicable reign, so to speak, people thought that was the end. That things can get worse.
Yes,
it's gotten worse. It's going to get. Do you know? It's difficult to contemplate how things will be. You know, very, very difficult.
So, is there politics in your future?
Maybe activism, not
activism, maybe not politics.
I mean, we have to get involved one way or the other. I'm older now. I wish I had done things maybe when I was 30 years younger. You know, things have to change. We can't.
Once there's life, there's time.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much for making our time to talk with us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.